to the Vent, Rebuild, Refocus podcast presented by WeChat here. I am your host, that boy Reckless, and I have some beautiful panelists with me today, some intellectuals. I have the beautiful Sarah with me. She's back. I have April Jefferson with me. I have Miss Nikeva New York with me. I have the one and only Wolf, and I have ICP himself, Xavier Smith. And today we're going to get into a pandemic topic. Whether you guys believe it or not, we are going through a pandemic, and it is with the BBL culture. Understand? It's not just particularly BBL because males also get all type of alteration and enhancements, and it's just like, what are we doing? Really want to go down this road of disfiguration, understand? And I'm gonna call on you guys to see, like, could we come up to a root cause analysis? Is it trends? Like, what do you guys think is the cause? And are you for it or against it? For the guys, would you date somebody that has the surgery done, BBL? For the girls, would you date, for the women rather, would you date a guy that has abs implanted and not real abs? Like, so let's talk about it. Anybody could go first. Just
I go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to blame you men for this one. I'll blame us for this one. I'll cover for y'all neck right away. Cover for y'all neck right away.
Okay.
I think it's social media. And I was just like, before I got on here, I was talking to my family. And I said, you could have an unattractive chick, and if she shows just a little bit of ass, you got about 500 men. She could be a duck. She could be ugly, and then you about 500 men. Oh, you beautiful. I like, about 500-600 likes. And you can have a regular chick like me, or what men say they want these natural chicks, but a natural chick posts a picture, she probably got like 5 likes. You got these girls like this, 1,000 likes. She got like all these comments, you beautiful and stuff like that. And I think the other girls who see that, they want that kind of attention. They want that, you know what I mean? And I remember, like, even myself, because I always been natural, and I found that you'll have men that say they want natural but will overlook natural and only look at the chicks that's made up, did up, cut up, got the BBLs, got this, got that. So it kind of like sends a wrong message to young women that if you want to hold a man's attention, you want to hold him, you're going to have to get you some kind of surgery. You're going to have to look like this. You're going to have to look like that. I'm just saying. So, but some of it's too, but I'm just saying, like, you kind of mean, like, I think as men, men supposed to be the leaders. They say they want to be the leaders. Any podcast you got, they like, women won't let us lead. Women won't let us lead. So if you the leaders, right? It's like you sending this message. You sending that this is what women got to do to get your attention.
Okay. So from that standpoint, men are setting the standard, and we're setting a bad standard. I mean,
I think so.
no.
You're not gonna have women. If you have a man get on there and show where he got his chest cut up, you ain't gonna have about 5,000 women liking it or saying he handsome. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna have that. So the visuals of the universe, I think, are really kind of propelling this, where, like, you got a lot of natural girls. Because I remember even myself when I was young, I used to feel skipped over, left over, like, because I ain't had a weave everywhere, the makeup and the half naked. You see what I'm saying? They gonna look right past you, and that's what they gonna look at. So I think the self-esteem of a lot of the young girls is like, this is what we gotta do. We gotta magnify ourselves. Hence the lashes, the hair, everything has the butt. Everything has to be magnetized in order to stand out. You know what I mean? In order to stand out, to feel like you love, to feel like you being noticed, to feel like you're not being overlooked. They want that attention. They don't want to be the one that's overlooked, not realizing that what kind of attention is. You know what I mean? But some of them, they don't really care what kind of attention it is. They just wonder, it's attention.
I'm on the outside. Well, I'm on all sides. I don't want to just say it's just for attention because I mean, us as humans, we all want attention from every now and then, whether it's from whoever, our kids, our family, our spouse, whatever. But we have to think as women within period, like especially for us mothers, we coming from a regular body that we felt was up to par, we felt was petite, looking good all the way to we is now we huge and we can't lose this weight. Now we got big saggy breasts or whatever the case may be, and PTSD is really real. So it's not that they want attention. They just probably having a hard time and want to love themselves again. I look at it from that reason. I was one of them. Like after I had my children, like I was like, God, I came from this and I'm like this. Like I want the BBL next. But am I against the females that have a BBL? No, it's their body. And they look good. So I'm look good. I mean, they look good. I ain't a hater. I'm not against it. But I'm not gonna just say some people like to follow the leader. We all got to follow the leaders out there. Does that make them a bad person? No, they just want a nice body too. We can't judge them for wanting a nice body, want to look good. This go for men and the women. Like men, women are the only one that suffer and feel a type of way about their body. Men's be insecure too. And maybe they want to look good. You never know if their wife at home fantasizing on Facebook, scrolling, he look over, she liking this fine guy pic that's up the par. It goes both ways. It's hand in hand. But who are we to judge anybody that want to do that? We never know what someone, and it all starts from mental. It's all mental. Whatever reason, whether they following the leader, want attention, whatever, it start mentally though. So evidently it's something about them they don't like. And that's bothering them. And they wanna look good. When you look good, you feel good. And of course, attention gonna come with it. We all want attention. We want to know we look good. We want to know that people are into us. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially when you get up in them ages and you feel like you unattractive. You're not young no more. I'm not looking attractive. I don't know if I still got it. Let me go get something small done. I'm just personally not against it because I understand it. We got to learn to understand first. The root cause should be understanding. And really, it shouldn't even be that. It should be mind your business because it's not our bodies. It's not hurting us. But at the same time, it's just understanding that it's just a mental thing. They probably not who they used to be, and it bugs them. I'm still a witness of it. Like I'm still going through self-love myself, trying to reappreciate myself and love my mom body that I got now. It's hard, but I'm not gonna go have surgery. I mean, if I could, I would. Once again, they look good now. Well, some I ain't gonna say all. They look good, so I ain't against it.
Yeah, we gonna chop it up about that. Kayla, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just thinking, listening to you guys talk. I just think like beauty is something that's defined by each person, right? Because I don't feel like everybody thinks, oh, having a BBL, which is a Brazilian butt lift, is that means, oh, that's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, I think each person defines what beauty is to them and for them, right? Because I know a lot of men out there who, I mean, yeah, some men like, oh, yeah, gotta have a BBL. Other men are like, nah, you gotta have stretch marks. Like, it gotta be natural for them. You know what I mean? So I think it just depends on the person. But I also think that social media and that media in general, a lot of people allow society to kind of dictate what they think is beautiful and what's not, you know. So I think that has a big, that is a big part of it, I believe.
Okay. Okay. So
I agree with you, Nikeva. I agree with that. It is a big part, but this the thing. This is just how I look at it, y'all. We say we're supposed to be this way, or we're supposed to think this way or highly of ourselves, but we gotta understand we live in reality too, though. Like, we in reality, and these are the times that we're going through right now. And the times we're going through is a lot of people, vast majority of people, is having a hard time self-loving themselves because of social media. And I don't want to just put it off on social media like social media is the blame. It's not. It just plays a role in it because we all on social media and we all on the same social account. So we're going to see the same thing. We're going to read the same thing. And of course, it's going to make us, look at ourselves, but we can't beat ourselves up about it if we want to look at ourselves and if we feel a type of way about ourselves, because sometimes you can't help it. We're human. I mean, it's something about ourselves that, we probably don't like and we want to work on. And we talking about physical appearance. That's why people work out every day. That's why people making sure they're eating right, because they don't want to be overweight or they don't want to be whatever. Should I judge them because they want to eat right or feel like they want it? No, it's just a part of life. And it's just like what you said, how the person defines their self. And it's something about them that they evidently don't like. And they feel like they want to, maybe the workout is not working out. Maybe I just need a little bit more extra help. Maybe they could tuck my stomach in just a little bit more or whatever. And it may not be to please others. It may be just to please them internally inside. I know that just goes like when you put on an outfit, and just for the ladies that's watching or whatever, you go put on an outfit and you like, normally you'll complain that your stomach look big when you're sticking out your clothes, and you go put an outfit on and it slims it down. You're going to feel good. You're like, oh, I look good in this. Oh, I look real good in this. Does that mean you want attention or something, or social media? No, it's just that's how you define yourself. Like, my stomach not sticking out, and I feel like I'm beautiful this way. And some people are okay with it.
let me interject. So in life, just in life in general, right? We have hard work and dedication, and then we got those who cut corners. Understand? And for the record, this is a judgment-free zone. Understand? Um, so my thing on cutting corners is, I think that's a habit problem. Understand? That's a vice problem. If you can't put in the groundwork to get to where you want to get to in life, that's just in general, whether it's a career wise, whether it's body wise, it's certain things that you have to do it's actually work that has to be exuded. Understand? So when you take a shortcut, what is that saying? For me, that's saying, I don't want to put in the necessary work, but I want the result. And that's where I'm at with it. It's like you want to skip the process of changing yourself the correct way, because people are dying with the surgeries, botch surgeries, and having all type of keloids and medical damage and all type of physical damage to their bodies. Understand? So I understand about people wanting to look good so they could feel good, but it's a process. Understand? It's if we just cut all the corners in life, it's going to be a microwave society, and that's the society we're living in today. It's like a microwave society, to where, no, I don't want to put in the work, but I want the result.
And I think it's dangerous because I have an 8-year-old granddaughter and I work with teenagers, and I think the ramifications of this is that if we keep flashing these images, we have young women that don't know what real women's supposed to look like. They don't know that
Right.
it's okay if you don't have a big pump butt. Because I hear, like, my granddaughter's 8, and guess what she told me? She said, I don't have a butt. And I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like you have young girls who don't even know anything about these, that don't understand that some women have an A cup, some women have a D cup. Some women have a flat butt, some don't. And it's like it's taken away from the variety of life and not realizing that no, everybody can't have a BBL. Everybody shouldn't have. And just being able to, and I think it kind of sends the wrong message because there's so many. I can't tell you how many adolescent girls I have a 14-year-old daughter, 8-year-old granddaughter, and I work with teenagers from age 12 to 17, and they always say, I don't have hips, I don't have a butt. And I'm like, if I hear one more tell me they don't have a butt, and some of them actually do
Right.
have a butt, and I look and I'm like, you do have a butt, but they know they mean the butts that they see on social media. And to them, that's
Right.
what a that is becoming to them, that's what a butt is at this point.
Yeah. And the thing is, they don't understand what's behind. Like after they get the surgery, they don't understand the complications of it. Understand? So they're seeing the final product, but the complications is so far. Nobody posts the complications. Understand? Until we see the person dead. So and that's my whole thing. It's bigger than just a BBL, right? Per se, it's about let's just put in the work that's going to be necessary to get the results. That's it.
But you do know people also die from and we could pull the facts of it. People also die from working out a lot too. That happens too. It goes both ways. So we can't just blame it on just BBLs because I've done seen and heard of people passing from working out as well.
No, yeah. So
Too much for the
no,
body. Just like a BBL, maybe too much for the body. And when it comes to those young girls, because I have a daughter myself, and I know she's gonna get older. I know she's probably gonna see social media
come on
or hear
camera
about.
though. Come in the camera because you got
Have
yeah,
to. I
chop
was paying
talk.
and all that. But we have to, us as the adults or advocates in their life, we have to make sure we're teaching them the right from wrong because regardless, they're still going to see it. Regardless, they're still going to hear about it. And of course, it's going to cost them because they're human. It's not, we can't stop what goes through their mind, but we could teach them the right way. And one thing about teaching is you could teach somebody something all day long, and if they don't get it, or if they choose not to want to get it, it's kind of far out of our hands on that behalf, because we could raise our children to be the best children in the world and they can still go out there and do the wrong thing. But that's the main thing, is making sure you passing on that appropriate knowledge that it is okay to be natural. It is okay to look, your normal self. But at the same time, like, it really go hand in hand. Not saying we can't say either or is worse, or the short end, because if somebody want to take the fast route out, we can't be mad at them because it's there.
It's
They
not. It's not a question of being
so
mad or
it's
judging.
not
It's not.
being mad.
That's not
But
the
I'm
question.
saying, like, we can't be the judges of it or whatever. I mean, it's shortcuts to everything, and some people want to take a shortcut. Maybe they've been trying for like 30 years and they tired of trying because they done got too many failed attempts, and they probably want to take a shortcut. Or maybe they don't want to go through all the chaos that everybody go through and the sweat and tears, and they want to take a shortcut. It's okay. Either or, to me, I'm just playing in the middle, because either or it's a pro and it's a con to either or. Working out, getting a surgery, you can die from working out, you can die from having surgery. It just, I'm just not a judger. I'm just an understander, and I understand both. I understand some people like to put that work in and feel like they'd accomplished something, and some people want to take the shortcut and they still feel like they accomplished something. What was the accomplishment? They got the body they wanted.
So yeah.
And
No. And I go ahead.
no, I understand what she said. I don't think it's coming from a point of judgment. I never come from a point of judgment. I have empathy and I understand. I think the same thing I would say with something as far as depression. I can look at BBLs as far as depression. I'm always looking at, how do we fix this? How do we find a way? I also don't believe that, in the cookie cutter one way to treat depression or anything like that either. But I also know that there's some environments and some circumstances that can perpetuate depression. And the same thing when it comes to BBL. I'm looking at it almost as it's like from a sickness, or like he said, from a pandemic standpoint. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not judging them, just like I don't judge any of my patients. I don't judge anybody, but hey, it's like, what's your long-term goal for this? What are you doing it for? You know what I mean? Like, and I think that, like what you're saying, some people, the fraction of people who are doing it for the reason you're saying is very small compared to the big picture. I think the big picture people are not doing it for the reasons that you're saying. I think that I think it's probably about this much of the population of that group of people that's doing it for the reasons that you're saying. I think for the most of them, they're not doing it for the good reasons, and I think it's going to be bad implications in the future.
You feel like they play and follow the leader?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like they're playing follow the leader. I feel like a lot of young women, because like I said, I'm a family therapist. I work with adolescents. I have girls, and it's like a lot of them, when you talk to them and you sit down with them, first thing I'm hearing is, I don't have a butt. And it's like, why are so many girls these days are saying that? That's because we're having damaging, because they're seeing, what happens is what we see is what we become. Should they see it? Probably not, but internet access is everywhere. Or they nowadays you don't even have to see the internet to see these BBLs. And what's happening is decreasing their self-esteem, because now, okay, I'm a young lady, and some of these girls I've seen, they actually have butts, but they have a natural, like, little bubble butt, little girl butt. But to them, they don't have one because it's not the BBL butt. And the thing is, like, I heard what you said, how you teach them, right? Me, I'm very informative. As you see, I talk a whole lot. But as I was telling my granddaughter, she was listening to me, but I think in the back of her mind, she like, yeah, grandma, I hear you, but I still want a butt. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I think it's becoming where it's like really kind of damaging. And I ain't gonna take up the whole thing, but you know what I mean? I think in the long run.
Oh no, you good, you good, you good. So and that's the camera. Go ahead.
No, guys,
No, I was just saying in the long run and on a grander scale. As any rule, there's an exception to the rule. You know what I mean? You're gonna have that mommy who, was like, hey, like me, hey, I just don't want these rolls. Let me get them tucked. You know what I mean? You might have that. But I mean, on a grander scale thing, when you go to Miami, you see all these big butts and you see people going out of the country and all of this stuff. You can't hardly pay your rent. You know what I mean? It's becoming where it's a problem. Like you're taking out loans, you're doing all of this. To me, that becomes where it's like an addiction. It's a problem. It's almost like taking out a loan to go gamble or to go do drugs, to do this. It's like you're not doing it within your means. You're not doing it just to tuck here or tuck there. You go into extreme measures. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're taking out loans, not paying your bills. You got kids, you're on food stamps, but you're somewhere getting a BBL. Like, to me, like, with the depravity, for you have to feel really, really bad to go out and get a high interest loan or borrow from your family, can't pay your bills and everything so you can have a big butt. I think like that to me is mental illness. I'm never going to believe that that's okay. That has to be mental illness.
No.
right. And so I come from a place of non-judgment as well. Anytime that you have to choose between getting something done that could potentially kill you, because there's risk, just like you said, it's risk to exercising to look a certain way, is risk to all of these surgeries, plastic surgery. It's always a risk. And so I feel like anytime you take a risk on your life to look a certain way, whether it's exercising, whether it's plastic surgery, that is a mindset. Like, that is a mindset thing that where you're like, okay, I'm willing to risk my life to look a certain way. And
right.
It goes with changing the mindset to where people are comfortable with how they look, because honestly, for me, plastic surgery, I feel like goes against, and this is my own belief, again, I'm not judging, but like, I feel like you're saying to God, you messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you tell God he messed up? You know what I'm saying? Like, he made you look that way for a reason. He gave you a kid knowing how your body would look after. Like, how dare you say, oh, God, you messed up, I'm going to fix it. Like, to me, it just doesn't, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. You know what I mean? Like, if God gave you a kid and then you got a fupa after that kid, then yeah, that's what God wanted. He don't mess up. So how like, what would I look like saying, "Oh, let me spend this money to fix what you messed up, God." Nah, it like I feel like it's definitely a mindset that people have based off of what they're seeing and what society is accepting as the norm.
And me personally, I feel like you should self-love yourself first. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to have to go out and spend a large amount of money to make yourself look a certain type of way. If God made you naturally, you should roll out naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I don't engage with women that have fake body parts because it's not attractive to me. I'm attracted to women that's natural. Their natural hair, their natural nails, their natural toenails. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, you can wear a wig for a certain event, but I would rather you have your natural hair and style that and just roll with that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody doesn't have that. So, I just convert back to self-love at the end of the day. Me personally, the BBL, you can throw that out the door. You know what I mean? Because it's a high, you may lose your life. If you don't care about your life, then what do you care about?
So let me add, right? Because I'm gonna go back to the beginning, and we were talking about the man setting the status quo for this type of egregious pandemic, right? And then we also talked about mindset, right? So let's add that together, understand? Because I believe, understand, what I'm seeing today is both, right? Men are going for a lot of the women with the BBLs and the alterations and what have you, understand? And the women that are getting them are having are the ones with insecurities and self-esteem issues, understand? It's almost hand in hand, right? If I degrade this woman enough for her to get this surgery, what is she gonna do? She's gonna do it, understand? Regardless to her life on the line or not, she's gonna do it because this is the status quo. This is what was established. This is the new norm. And I think we need to rewrite that ship. I think we need to all unlearn and relearn because the pure form of love is the love of self. Understand? And like me, I don't even have piercings or tattoos. Right? That's how extreme I am with it. Like it's like, yo, I came out this way and I'm gonna go back to the dust this way. That's just speaking for that boy Reckless. That's why I don't got no piercings or tattoos. But it's a April said, it's a microcosm that a lot of people looking at, but we gotta look at the macrocosm, understand, because believe it or not, social media is prevalent, and like she was saying, the little girls are looking up to people that's having all these surgeries and things to this nature, and it's in our households. Like they're really complaining, and it's drawing trauma already. It's onset trauma because they think this is what the body should look like, and that's just not the case.
But that goes to show you how powerful the internet is.
Absolutely.
And that goes to show you how powerful and how weak-minded women can be.
Hey, could y'all hear me, or are we going in and out? I know some parts of our community is suffering a storm, so y'all can hear me well still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
All right. So Q, all right, what's up, man? Let's get in here. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm just listening, man. But I appreciate that. But like I put in the chat, man, I was like, you just got to get familiar with cultural. But first and foremost, man, undoing cultural, man. I'm like everybody else, man. I don't have no judgment zone either when it come down to BBLs and stuff too, man. But it just unfitting, man. If you look at it, really unfitting. To see someone get surgery, just to impress people around them, and just want to be in the spotlight of people. But it don't mean no good, because I can be honest, it don't attract me. Like we always say, it's an insight of looking good if we look at it as men. Like we see it, we have like these small reactions or big reactions when we be in large peer groups of people and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's for show. So when I see women, move in that regard, we already can tell off top that it's an insecurity issue. But also at the same time, it's gonna do damage, and then the body ain't even gonna fix what comes after it, far as how you speak, how you do things, how you move.
Right,
Like it's
right,
not gonna speak behind it. So when you have a body like that, man, it's always prevalent to always just keep it natural.
right. It's like, so you said something that was it. It's not gonna fix your depression. It is not gonna remedy whatever you're going through. Understand? It's gonna be a temporary feel good. Oh, I got the BBL. Until, guess what? That fad is out. Now, oh, everybody's natural again. Now what?
Yep. Like what happens when
Now,
it's out?
now you're not, yeah, now what happens when the fad is done? Understand? So now you're feeling, oh, well, I gotta go back natural. So nah, but because that's what's happening. It's almost like, and I'm like, watch this. I don't know if y'all remember a period to where guys were doing all type of egregious acts, robbing people, killing people for Jordans, for chains, for money, just so they could fit socially with other people. It's almost like the same concept. And that's why I say it's not the BBL, so to speak, but it's a mentality that's in the universe. Understand? And that's why I say it's a macro level thing. It's not a micro level. The micro level is BBLs and all type of surgeries, but the bigger, the macrocosm is a mentality of I will kill or be killed to fit in. That's the bigger issue. Understand?
So I mean, it's just something for me to rebuttal in. I want to know what what the mindset look like when people get in their silos. When you think about these type of you know Q&A questions or topics, because it bothers me, especially like if you see somebody out and you know it's not their body. You know it's not their body. You could tell, man. Like, and then just this demeanor when you see them, man. It's just like a attitude thing. It's just them. Like they just be in their head and all kind of stuff like that. And I just have no tolerance for that. But like when I look at stuff like that too, it's definitely inflicting on our young folks, man. And the young folks gonna definitely take after it, because if you look at it now, social media are already taking a big toll on how our mental is now. So like that's another part of alienating somebody. Like, man, I already done put it out there now so the world can see it. Now we're gonna try to put it in our young folks to believe it as well.
Right.
So I'm just curious. That's all it is. I'm curious to it.
I mean, but you got to keep in mind on this too, though, bro. Like the world is shifting into the fake is real. It's either fake is fake and real is real. So it's
Right.
like, you
Come
know,
on now.
you gotta up your brain to know that what's real and what's fake. You know what I'm saying? And then converting back to the BBL, who want the complications behind it? Who want to go through that? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like when we get sick, our immune system's supposed to fight. Yeah, we may take some halls, yeah, we may take some NyQuil, but at the end of the day, our immune system's supposed to fight that day. Your immune system ain't be able to fight back no concrete that you inject into your body. Or, the fake, your fake breasts and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? If you run into a problem with blood clog or et cetera, et cetera. So, I just tell everybody, hey, you do what you do, but just know that your life is way more valuable than any amount of money.
Have y'all seen the instant to where the guy, I think he got some implants to make him taller?
To make them
Yeah.
taller.
Yeah, you seen that? And he said he was chasing the best version of himself. And so one thing I realized, right, intent has nothing to do with consequence. Understand, right?
Yes.
So you can intend to do something because, oh, I'm trying to be the best version of myself. That has nothing to do with the actual consequence of you getting these instills. Understand? It's like,
Did he get taller?
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
but for him to say, he's trying to chase the best. How could you say the best version of you is 6 feet? That's what I want to know.
yeah, I'm lost on that.
Because that's what he was saying. He said the best version of me is 6 feet. No, you're mistaken.
Yeah, he's lost.
And a lot of us be mistaken on things. Like we may have the intent, but sometimes our intent could be mistaken, and that's okay. That's why we have community pillars to get with to say, listen, hey, you going down a slippery slope. Understand, you are the best version right now. You just got to tap into it. And I think that's where a lot of this is going astray. It's like, yo, why am I trying to look like Tyson B. Jordan? Understand, when I could be looking like that boy Reckless. Feel me?
So
You
say
said
social,
something that was
yeah,
important.
social media is us. Social media is the people. We are the creators of social media, and so it. I don't want to say social media. When I hear social media, it's like we blaming like the internet itself. For real, it's the people. And I agree with both. I agree with all. It's the people, it's your partners, and it's your mindset. And this is the thing. It's not even that we shifted into the fake is the new real. We've been there. We've been there. It's just back in the day they didn't have this type of stuff that they could do now. But I'm gonna speak on each because with the man, it's like, and it goes both ways. But of course, a female speaking on a man situation, it's like you got your partner, and he's always talking about or gloating about females with the biggest butts, females that got the biggest titties. Oh, this thing look good. And it makes their lady. We're gonna feel insecure. I don't care how much self love in the world you have. It's like you're my partner. I confide in you. I put my trust in you. I'm hoping I'm everything that you love and like. But then to hear my partner getting overzealous and excited and this, that, and the third about this big booty girl, of course it's going to hit our mind when we see that it's out there that we can change it. Whether that's working out or going to get a BBL. That's just like a man. If their woman is gloating over someone, but 90% of the time it's always the male because us females, we love our girls. We love our man for who they is. We'll be with them when they broke. But it's like you have the guys out here and they bragging about it and it makes us feel insecure as a woman. It's like, well, dang, maybe I ain't good enough. Or maybe, I want to be with him forever. So if I go change this and this and this, he'll like me even more. He'll love me even more. We'll be together to the end of time. When really it's not even that. Just leave them. And then you also got those out here who don't have that type of support, who don't have them community pillars and they don't like their self and how they look, whether it's from having a kid or over the years of excessive eating or whatever the case may be of not gaining weight. And they don't have those out there to help pour to them. So it's like, what else can they resort to? They feel like they don't have nothing to resort to besides, oh my God, let me hurry up and go get this shortcut because maybe I love me even more. No matter. And people, it's not they don't know the complications because they tell you all the complications that come behind it when you go get the surgeries. You can look it up online and they'll tell you, hey, this, and this can happen. They okay with taking that risk. That they okay with that long-term effect because for right now, I'm gonna feel good. And it feels good to me that I got it done. So I'm okay with it. I know I have a lot of homegirls right now that done got a BBL. And we don't have chats about it. And they say that was probably the worst pain they ever went through. But you know what? She says she's okay with it because her body looks good and she loves it and she's embracing it. And she out doing her thing. She's a stripper actually. And she making good money. Can afford all her bills. It's some out here with they get BBLs that can't afford their bills. Probably can come pay your bills. And they okay with the risk behind it because it makes them feel good. And then we got social media where that's where majority of the attention is being drawn. But the thing is, it comes from masculine energy first, whether it's your partner or not.
Yeah.
When we go on social media, us as women, we see that's where men is leading to. Of course, women gonna want to follow and hop on that train. Shit, I want to look good too. I want these niggas to look at me too. I'm getting up in them ages as well. Like, shit, that's what I want. So that's why they resort there. They want to look good because that's the trend for men.
No, yeah,
I
no, yeah,
agree
and
with
we
They
that.
love big booty girls. They want
Hey,
them big
facts.
cheeks.
Hey, facts. I agree.
go
And
They
ahead,
like
April.
and like
Go
I
ahead,
agree
April.
with that's the point I was saying. And I'm not just trying to bash men, but I know even me, like, you know what I mean? When you a woman and men don't really realize the ramifications of that, they go on there just like, oh, you doing all these likes, you looking at all this, and you want a natural girl, right? But you overlooking that natural girl you got at home and you chasing and looking after that. Not all men, but I'm saying for the most part. And a lot of women, you know what I mean, are not strong enough for that. And you end up, and I've been guilty of that myself. You end up looking at yourself like, damn, what's wrong with me that he not looking at me like that? You know what I mean? And imagine somebody that already got low self-esteem. Even a woman with high self-esteem can get impacted with that.
right,
Imagine one
right.
that has low self-esteem.
Right. You can be the strongest woman out here with a good mentality.
Drugs,
It's
yeah.
still gonna play where it doesn't. This the thing. It doesn't matter about how much self-esteem or self-love you have for yourself. We have to still remember we are human. Human comes with emotions in these host body. Period. So if we're
Yes.
seeing that people overzealous of what looks good, we're human. We want to look good. Nobody on this earth is gonna tell me, all right, I want to look ugly. Every day I wake up, I want to be ugly as fuck. I want to look this like, no, we want to look good. We ask our friends, do I look good in this? We ask our partner, babe, does this look good? We want to look good regardless of how we get there. And when you have a whole millions of people around you that's glow in this one thing that they consider looks good, it's gonna be a trend, of course. It's gonna be a follower. And that's not a bad thing. It's not bad that you want to look good. We
So
want to look good.
let me say this.
But see, I
Okay,
think
go ahead.
so. My video is off because I'm
Uh,
driving, but I think when you allow other people to determine what looks good for you, then that becomes real tricky. I think even though it's 2023, like, yeah, we got social media, we got all these things, but ultimately it's because we still have a slave mentality as African Americans. Like, we are still looking at each other, hating the way this person looks, colorism. You know what I'm saying? Not just getting surgeries, but even black men killing each other because they feel like they are inferior. Like, we still have a slave mentality. And I think, that affects a lot of the decisions that we make as African American people.
I agree. And where I was going with it, right? Be it as it may, let's say your spouse, he's a BBW lover, right? Not the BBL, but the BBW. Understand? Let's say he loves it and he glorifies it, right? Okay, fine. Does that mean go butcher your body? No, not in no sense of the word. It's just like if the male is not making enough money, is he gonna go rob and steal, or is he gonna go to work for it?
They'll do
Which
both.
which would you rather? Would you rather him do it the ethical way? Hey, just hey, get a job, we'll work through it, or not go kill this nigga. He got some money. Go
It,
kill him and get the money out. So the thing is, it go back to what are we working for? Are we willing to put in the work to get the change that we want? Or do we want the cookie cutter? Do we want the shortcut? Understand? Because I guarantee you, after the shortcut, it's still gonna be implications. Understand? Because now it's like, oh no, I could just get the surgery and I could get my lips done. I could get this done. I could get this done. And then you looking like Lil Kim. No disrespect to Lil Kim. Understand? No
but
disrespect.
It's the would you rather would be both, which is what we're talking about now. The would you rather? Would you rather him go get a job or go kill? It's people out here that would rather both. Hell, get a job, and it's people that likes people to go rob and kill.
No,
That's
no,
just
but so the thing is, we're not talking about what people would rather want. We're talking about what's ethical and what's not ethical. Understand that's what we're talking about.
people
It's,
say
it's
that's
no.
what we want ethical, of course. But in reality, people, which is what we're going to, that's the reason why we're having this conversation, is because of course, we want ethical, but people will choose the non-ethical route.
No, yeah. So the thing is that, and this is the point that Miss McCabe in New York was saying, that we give a damn about what people say. We give a damn about what people think. It should never be. I'm never gonna be that pressed to where a person tells me, "Yo, your dreads is ugly," and I go cut my hair. Not in a million years that will ever happen. It could be 10,000 people lined up and say, "Yo, your dreads is going crazy, dog." I would never cut. So it's like, who are we doing it for? Are we doing it because people, or are we doing it for ourselves?
I agree, bro.
I,
I agree.
oh,
You need to do it for
go ahead,
yourself.
Q.
Nah, I was just basically saying I agree with that 100%. Just on the fact of I was just gonna pretty much rebuttal on what Yana had said, for as like the infidelity part. That's all it is with infidelity. People moving in the spotlight of again, like we're talking about with social media and people making decisions for them, and us not being cognitive of what's around us. So at the end of the day, like like IBL said, like at the end of the day, who are we actually doing it for? Like, where's the true insight coming from? Because at the end of the day, we have things that happens around us so much. Time done change, society changing daily. Like, we ain't got no choice but to get into our reading and staying in our bag with doing a lot of things in life that we really want to, but we can't always go back to reflecting on what somebody already done put ahead of us. Cause a lot of times people are just fighting demons by themselves. You feel me? Like, people fighting them by themselves, man. So when you got someone that's always feeling like they have to defend themselves all the time, and they always got to feel like that people are against them, we got to get out of that narrative. We have to step away from that. So again, that's gonna be another question that come about. Like, what are we actually mimicking out here?
What aside from anybody's opinion, aside from anybody's perspective, what is your version of greatness? When you look in your mirror, what do you see? Not what, oh, my man like, or my girl like, or my home team. No, none of that. What do you like? What do you want to see yourself like? Understand? At the end of the day. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
No, I mean, can y'all hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I agree, but I think that, if I'm gonna go from a psychotherapy standpoint, like, self-esteem is two parts. Everything we do is two parts, right? We love ourselves, but then we need other people to love us, right? Everything is twofold. Nobody can stand alone, which is why we have these issues in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, this thing called social conformity. There's a good social conformity, and then there's a negative social conformity. You know what I mean? Like, we're like herds. You know what I mean? We're social beings. That's what keep us connected. But the thing is, what happens is when it's out of balance, you know what I mean? When it becomes out of balance, where it becomes like you're doing extra measures, you're doing extra stuff, you know what I mean? But we all want to look good. We want to look good for ourselves, and we want to look good for others. Because I always say, when people say, "Oh, I'm not doing this for nobody, I'm doing it for myself," I say, "Is that how you dress when you in the house?" If that ain't how you dress when you in the house, when you go outside, you doing it for other people. You know what I mean? Like, are you at home? You ain't got nowhere to go. Do you got beat face when you at home by yourself? No. So, because when I'm home, right, I like perfume. So when I ain't got nowhere to go, guess what? I'm still putting on perfume because guess what? This perfume is for myself. Now, doing my hair is for other people because it's sometimes I'm in here by myself. I ain't doing my hair. But I go outside, it's not considered socially appropriate to go out here with your edges all frizzy and, your hair not combed, But so it's like, it's a two-part thing. We're all like, you know what I mean? Like, we all, do stuff for ourselves and then we do stuff for other people. The problem is when it become out of balance and it become extreme. If that makes sense, it becomes extreme. Because, I'm sure a lot of us, when we in the house, we ain't looking our best when we sitting in the house. But when we get up, we gonna put on our nice clothes. We gonna put because we getting dressed for people too.
No, yeah.
So BBL. So I would ask a girl, okay, for BBL, if you ain't had nowhere to go for about 20 years, you ain't had nobody to see, no social scenes to go to. It's just you in your house. Would you get this BBL?
Right.
Do you care when you at home by yourself? When I'm at home by myself behind closed doors? Do I care that I have a flat butt? Do I really, really care that my stomach is the way it is? Or I'm only thinking about it when I'm out and amongst people or taking pictures? Even me, right? For my weight. I'm in here by myself. Barely think about my weight. But guess when I think about my weight? When I take a picture or when I go outside. That's just being real. That's being real.
Because validation purposes, people try to make feel bad for wanting validation. And I just was having a talk with one of my realtors today, Kay, and like I was telling her, at the end of the day, we human, validation isn't always bad. We want that validation sometimes because that's our motivation, what keeps us going. That's what boosts the self-esteem. Yeah, it starts from self first. And I agree with the two parts, and I'm so glad you said it. Of course, it starts with self, but at the same time, we want to hear people tell us, yo, you look good. Yo, you know what? You're doing a good job out here. You know what? Your business dope. We need that feedback. We don't, and I hate when people say, nah, I like my haters. Well, my haters make me go crazy. Why you want people wishing so much bad on you? Why you want people telling you ugly so you strive even harder? That's the same thing. It's not loving yourself. Dang, he said I'm ugly. Strive really hard and go really extra good. That's why people go to BBLs. Because they don't have those out there that's telling them, you know what, yo, you look good. You look good how you are. We don't have that all the time. And if this world, which I know is never going to go that way, but if this world could have started off with people giving the appropriate validation that we need, and we get out of our minds and stop saying validation is bad. Oh, we don't need to be looking for hand claps and that. Yes, we do. Because maybe that'll save that's why kids be depressed. They don't have their mothers at home or fathers at home or friends out there telling them, hey, you look good, you don't look fat. Because that's how I have a niece who's going through this right now, and they're picking on her at school, telling her she's fat because she got a big butt. Because she's not getting that validation that she needs, that you know what, you do have a big butt. If that's what you into, you do look nice, niece. You do look this way. That's what we need. We need that validation and that hand clap from people every now and then that we look good or we doing good. Maybe when we wouldn't resort to so much of the let me go have surgery or let me go work myself out to death where my ass hurt before I go to bed at night because I want the biggest ass of a girl for my man, like, or from the society or whatever.
And Nana, you're so right. Like I remember, like me, like I remember a couple times in my life just being a natural girl. Like, you know how much times I used to like either go to men and be like, damn, don't no dude holler at me. I see him walk right past me and go past the girl that look like this, but then they say they want natural. You see what I'm saying? Like I had to build myself up. You know what I mean? Like, but I remember going through that struggle. Even now, people will tell me, oh, you know, dudes don't holler at me. They'll say nothing. They'll say nothing. Do you hear me? They will go, and it's like men say one thing and then they say another. I'm telling you, and I'm trying not to men, but I'm telling you, like they on social media, they not validating the natural girl no more. They validating the girls that look like that by giving her another like. If she got 250 likes, they making it 251. You know what I mean? And it's like those are validations.
What's the extra
And the
comment? Don't
girl,
forget the comment.
yeah. Oh, in the
No,
comment, then you got a girl that get on there natural. She got like 3 likes and maybe 1 comment or 0. You see what I'm saying? But then they say, "Oh, we want a natural girl." No, you don't. You scroll right past that one when you was on your timeline and added to 100. I saw 1,004. The month got on there and you was 1,005. Okay, so stop it. Men are professional.
Punch the man
They
out
are,
first.
yeah.
and I'm about to get off because Yana, you hit the nail on the coffin. I'm going, and that takes me back to what I said in the beginning. These men are doing the validation for what they claim they don't want.
And us
They
as
claim.
women can say all day. Us
Let me
as women
let me
can
tap
say
in
all
that.
day.
Yeah, let me
I'm
tap in
speaking
that.
about
And
Q, you back because I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded.
Listen. Us as women say all day, we don't care what a nigga think about us. We love saying it. We don't care about how these niggas feel. I look good. But at the end of the day, yes, we do. We do.
Dude,
And
you're
it's not a bad thing. It's okay. But I mean, we have feelings. It's okay to admit, damn, that hurt my feelings. Like, I want to look good too. Like you just said, Sade look good. Why I can't look good like Sade? And make us feel away.
right.
But that the more of it is, though, we don't want y'all. Well, some people don't want y'all going to get the BBLs and killing yourself. But at the end of the day, what that has nothing to do with us. But it, y'all, I hate to feel like I'm bashing man, but it start with man, and I can't agree with that in the aspect that you brung about, April, because it does. It's masculine and feminine. For the males out there that's insecure, that's because it's women out here, and you want to know, dang, do I still got it? Why these, my phone on a charger, guys. Why this girl not into me or whatever the case may be, and that makes men have insecurities too. I don't want to be called, probably a man is saying they don't want to be called a fat guy or, oh, you too skinny and lanky or whatever. That probably hurts them too. So that's why they go to the gym and get extra buff and get extra abs and whatever else. But I did not know people was putting abs in their stomach. That's kind of scary. I don't know which one is worse, the BBLs or the abs. That's
so
alarming.
whoa, wait. Stay right there. Stay
Stay
right
right.
there. Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay
I
right
really
there.
didn't know people was doing that though, y'all, for real. I'm really like still stuck on it.
Watch this.
Oh
No,
God.
yes, it actually happens, right? And you said something, and it was a natural occurrence. What you said, it's scary. Understand that a guy will go get ab implants to impress. It's scary, regardless to the pressure. The actual act of going to get it is scary.
Yeah,
Understand?
that's what I was gonna say. Not even just to impress. It's just the knowing that somebody's putting abs
But
in
no,
their.
but it's just like, and that's why I say we got a bigger problem than just the pressure from a spouse, the pressure from society, the validation from men. Understand that is perpetuating, right? We have a bigger issue. Understand, and the issue is it goes back to what am I allowing myself to get into? Understand? Are these people this impressive? Am I impressionable this much to where I'm gonna go and kill myself to impress these people? Regardless to validation, regardless to the 50th like, understand, I still have to live. I still have to be present. So regardless of who he's liking and me wanting to be like them, I still gotta be me. I think that's where I don't want to miss this topic at, to where we still have to love ourselves enough to say, I don't care who he likes. If he doesn't like me, we may not need to be together. And I'm okay with that. Because I like me. I love me. I validate me. And then validity, right? Men do give validity to certain things, but I think we really need to be looking for the empowering aspect, the encourage. Like, we don't need to seek validation, but we need to seek empowerment, encouragement, motivation. I think it be so many words sometimes that get interchanged when we're trying to portray or relay a message. We don't need nobody to validate what God already stands. Understand? However, would I like some encouragement and empowerment on my way? Yes. But for somebody else to stamp what God stamped, I don't need that. I'm already valid. So I think we need to make sure, and this is just from me, that we understand what words we're actually using to say, hey, validity. I don't need nobody to validate what God already stamped. I would like your encouragement though, your empowerment. That's gonna boost my energy. Understand? That's gonna keep me going. Go ahead. Okay.
All that. Okay,
Yeah.
can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, yeah, no, I was just saying that, like, validation from a man does not have as much weight as a woman validating herself. Yeah, a man can tell you that you're beautiful, but if you can't look yourself in the mirror and know that you're beautiful, what that man says means nothing. Nothing at all. So I think, even with a man, like if a woman tell you you're beautiful, it means nothing if you can't look in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm beautiful.
Absolutely. And this is why I always carry the big bag mentality. Understand? Because they said, "Oh, you all that in a big bag of chips," right? So I always carry the big bag mentality. Understand? Can't nobody tell me otherwise. I'ma always be the biggest bag in the shelf. Period. And I'ma always hold that way, regardless of if anybody says, yo, you are handsome. That's just an additional compliment to what I already know, and I accept it. But it's not gonna say, oh, I am now. Okay, you see but you see the mentality, Q. You see the mentality. If somebody tells me I'm handsome, they're not discovering that I'm handsome. That's just an additional compliment. I already know this, right? That's already established. Okay, thanks for the compliment. But we have some, hey, you're handsome. Yes, I'm handsome now because they said it. That is validation. And I think that's where we miss it at, understand? One is empowerment, encouragement. One is valid. No, I don't need no validity from any outside entity. Quote that. Go ahead and quote that. I don't need no validity from any outside entity. Understand?
Put that in the chat. Yeah.
I mean, for real though, because I'm already God given. God created me. I have God dwelling within me. Who could tell me that I'm not such and such?
Fact. And I think sometimes with women, they like to hear, for whatever reason, women like to hear, but on the same note, like on the same concept of listening to a man say this, say that, I heard you guys saying, but they do the opposite. So that shows that what a person says should never take weight over, what is done. It is not a matter of what a person says to validate you. And like I said before, I feel like that's all part of the slave mentality, that even though we don't have the type of slavery that we had before, we still have that mentality. Like, oh, she's in the home because she's lighter than me, and now you don't feel validated as a field slave because you're not in the home. We were taught to not like ourselves and not to like each other. So I feel like when you're looking for validation, that's because something, for whatever reason, you feel like you need that in order to like yourself.
Right. Hey, this conversation, this has been fantastic. Understand?
Right. Right.
So at the end of the day, do things for yourself. Understand? With no validity. When you're in the mirror and you're looking at yourself, whatever you do to that person with that insight, use that person to motivate you. Understand? No outside entity. No likes, no dislikes. Just whoever's in that mirror, listen to that person. Understand? And that's gonna take you further than you doing something for people and then the fad changes and then now you gotta do something else. So be true to who you are and never to the next. Miss McCabe in New York, ICP himself, Xavier Smith. The other guests are gone already and we love them. Thank you, April. Thank you, Sierra. Understand? We about to wrap it up. Any last words? Any last words? Wolf, Q, Miss McCabe in New York.
My last words is just self-love. A lot of us, out here in the world don't even love themselves. So in order to love others, you need to love yourself first. If you don't know how to love yourself, you do all type of research to figure out how can you love yourself. So, every day you look in the mirror, you don't want to be disappointed. You want to be happy. You know what I'm saying? You want to be the best reflection of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And anytime a person that has the upper level on you to have the bad reflection of yourself, they got more power over you than yourself.
Mm.
So, like I said, at the end of the day, please self-love first, then extend the love.
I'm gonna chime in too, man. On the
Fact.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying fact. You can go.
I just heard your voice. My bad. I just wanted to say, man, on the behalf of Incredible Convo Podcast, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate man, Wolf. Salute you, that boy Reckless, man. As always, we chat here at LLC, man. It's always a pleasure to be in announcement in these type of spaces. So I do appreciate your guests and you all as the hosties and stuff like that. But my last minute remarks is this topic right here was really challenging, but it was also needed to be talked about because we have to get in a space where we are able to shift the paradigm of our minds. So our minds got to be able to be in a space where we have to conduct order ourselves instead of letting people make the placement for us. So, on the behalf of, like the BBLs and people that have BBLs, hey, salute it. If you do have it, but, just some encouragement and some motivational words. Just be careful how you treat your body. And definitely the things that you do with your body, because, it can always catch up in the long run. So I appreciate you again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Miss McCabe in New York. Understand. What's the last
words? God body. God body. When you know who you are, what you are, and what's inside of you, I think you just have a different mindset. And so, being God body, how could you not wake up being perfect? You know what I'm saying? I think it is just a notion of knowing who you are, knowing what's inside of you, and that's that. But
So
yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So listen, for me, can't nobody tell me nothing. Understand? I already know
Nothing.
God dwells within me. Understand? And he shines through me. I'm a light on a hill. That's what the Bible says. Understand? And I actually walk in that. You could like it when people meet me in person, you could feel it. It's not just a talk. Like it's an aura. It's charisma. It's charismatic. It's innate, right? So we always want to move with our God body. Understand? And we want to live life. We want to love life. Understand? We want to pursue happiness fearlessly. Understand? Don't mistake your happiness with a fad, though, because that's actually what's been going on in this pandemic, to where this is a fad. And when natural occurs again, people are gonna be like, I need to get rid of this stuff. Why did I do it? And then what? More bot surgeries. Let's not be propellers of a perpetual cycle. Understand? Let's just cut it. No pun intended. No pun intended. But thank you guys. We about to wrap it up. And we are out.